Welcome to the Farming Without the Bank podcast, the show with a no BS approach to money, hosted by a farm strategy expert and authorized IBC practitioner. Join us as we get real and expose the flaws of traditional financial institutions in order to help farmers take control of their finances, create peace of mind, grow their wealth, and leave a legacy. Now, here's your host, Mary Jo Irmen.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast. Thank you for tuning in. You know, if you guys like these, please share them. I would appreciate that. And so would the people that you share it with, is what I'm guessing. But thank you again for coming back and listening. Today is going to be a little bit different than normal. I am not going to talk about infinite banking, and I'm not going to talk about life insurance. But I read something that just really resonated with me, and I thought, you know what? We all do this. And in the farming world, it seems to be more prevalent than others, or we get more angry, and maybe that's just because we're in this industry. But I read something this morning that said, comparison is the thief of joy. And how true is that? We are so busy comparing ourselves to others. Do we ever actually stop and think about what it's like to be in that position? And so many of us as farmers look across the fence and be like, oh, well, they have a new combine, they have a new tractor. Oh, they must be doing good, right? But do you know what their expenses are? Do you know what their numbers look like? And then there is the justification of, well, you don't need to buy brand new. You can have used equipment. Well, there's no need to have that new stuff. Why? Why must we compare and justify? Who cares if somebody else wants something brand new? That's up to them. If they can't pay for it and they have to sell it, guess who gets the benefit of that? You. If they want to buy it brand new and lease it, and the equipment dealer then sells it at a discounted price because neighbor John was using it for a year and you got it discounted and you didn't have to have all the depreciation from a brand new piece of equipment, okay. If you buy a brand new piece of equipment and you keep it forever, fantastic. Who cares if you bought it brand new? If you don't want to spend all your time fixing, great, buy brand new. If you want an old piece of equipment and that works for you, great, go get an old piece of equipment. Why are we constantly beating each other up and comparing ourselves to everybody else? And if you guys have listened to enough of my stuff, you have also heard me say that jealousy kills curiosity. And I am just a firm believer in that. We compare ourselves to somebody else, think that we are losers because we're not as good as them, or we put on this act that we're better than everybody else because we are doing better, right? And that's all in comparison to what? To what? If I am in an area and I am the biggest farmer there, oh, I'm fantastic. If I go out of that area and there are bigger farmers, I'm not so fantastic. So we're comparing ourselves to what? If you want to have a bigger operation and you want to have a bigger business, are you figuring out how those other people got there? Or are you assuming that they just screwed somebody along the way to get there? Not everybody's bad. How did they get there? And that's exactly what happens when we're jealous of somebody or we're comparing ourselves and justifying to stay where we're at. If you don't want to be big and you want to stay and be a small farmer, well, fantastic. Be okay with where you're at. Does that mean that we have to beat each other up about it? It's absolutely crazy. When I share something of the sort on my Facebook page and how mean we are to each other in our own industry. Agriculture is hard enough, and then we fight amongst ourselves? Seriously? That's the best we can do? Is beat each other up because there's only so much land? Well, if you aren't prepared to purchase it, and that's the price, that's the price. How can we prepare next time? How come that big guy is buying all the land around you? How come he's able to rent all the land around you? What is he doing that is helping him get there? Are you asking those questions, or is jealousy killing curiosity? Are you comparing and killing any joy that you would have in life? Are you happy with where you're at today? And if not, what can you do to position yourself? I am working with people that have no equipment and 3 acres of ground. No ground at all. They're leasing all of it. And they're just getting started. And I am working with people that have thousands and thousands and thousands of acres. It ultimately does not matter. Every single one of them have expenses. Every single one of them runs their operation differently. Every single one. I don't care if you put 2 people beside each other with the same equipment, the same amount of land. Their operations are going to be run differently because they are people. The way they think is different. The way they handle money is different. The way they make deals is different. There are some good, there are some bad. But when we compare ourselves, we need to think about compared to what? Right? People always say, well, whole life insurance is bad. Compared to what? Compared to the stock market? Where there's no liquidity control and guarantees? Compared to real estate? Compared to term insurance? Compared to universal life? Compared to indexed? Compared to what variable? Compared to what? Oh, I need to be a big farmer. Why? Oh, that guy is too small. So? What does it matter to you if somebody is a small farmer? Why do you even have to make a comment about it? Maybe they want to be a small farmer. What's it make any difference to you? Yes, there are people that have more. How did they get there? We do this comparison for everything. Let me tell you, you don't know what somebody's family is like. You don't know how their farm operation works. We don't know how the hand-me-down portion of everything is going to go. I talked to a farmer a couple weeks ago, and he has no idea what his mom's plans are to hand the operation down. None at all. He is in his 40s. He has never once questioned her, and his exact words were, "It's none of my business. What she wants to do with her land is her business. I'm going to go get some of my own, rent it, buy it, whatever. But what she wants to do with it is up to her." And then you have the next one, the next client who says, "I want to know. I'm not going to stay here forever if I don't know." Everybody's family is different. What we see on the outside is most likely not what's going on the inside. Because guess what? As people, we pretend well. We pretend that everything is just absolutely fantastic because we have to put on this big show and nobody actually wants to be real. Be real. It's not all roses. So don't think just because this big, huge farm operation has 4 or 5 family members and they're massive, really, how well is that going? I had a client who had to buy out of the family operation, and now he has a lot of debt because it wasn't going so well. So compared to what? What is most important to you? Is it being big? Is it being small? Is it having a great family relationship? Is it hobby farming and we're going to farm on the weekends, or we're going to take some time off during the week because we still want that steady income? I have those guys too. They want the steady income. They don't want to be big. They just want enough farm ground to say that I can farm on the weekends because it's what I love to do. But I also love my day job where I am punching in or running a business or doing whatever. That's okay. Just stop comparing. It drives me insane. Absolutely insane. We do it in our business. We do it in our personal life. We do it with our families. We do it with our finances. In my own industry, people are constantly comparing each other. And it drives me crazy that the life insurance companies put out these reports every month of which agents are doing the best. Great. Do I look at them? I do. And I cheer on the people underneath or above me, right? And we have a great group of people in this industry that if one of us is on top, the next one is messaging us. It's absolutely fantastic because we are encouraging each other even though we are competition. Why have we lost that? There are people that are life insurance agents out there listening and you're like, well, I want to be Mary Jo. I want to be as busy as she is. Compared to what? How did I get here? Did it happen overnight? What does it look like? What do the days look like? It's interesting when people actually sit down and hear what I do in a day and they're like, well, I don't want that. Well, then great, don't have it. I don't care what you do. It's what I do. You don't have to do what I do. You don't have to be like me. I have come across people that are like, I just don't want to be that busy all day. Okay, then don't. It's okay. Doesn't matter. We all get to do what we want to do. And in my early years of my career, I also compared myself to everybody else. And I had a business coach who said, well, I don't want to work weekends. I don't want to work nights. And he said, then don't. And I didn't know what to say. I said, really? I don't have to? He said, no, you can do whatever you want. It's your business. I was so ingrained to believe that I had to work nonstop because the people I was training with worked nonstop. I don't have to give up my family in order to be here. And I know that irritates the absolute bejesus out of people. Especially you guys that are listening and you want to have an evening meeting with me or you want to have a weekend appointment with me because that's when you're free. Well, that's my family time. I'm not giving up my family in exchange for money or a business. That is 100% my family time. I will not do evening appointments. Does that mean I'm not working? No, I'm working. But I'm not doing a meeting. So do you have to make an exception and stop working for the day and come out of the field like the guy I had last week, completely stops working, comes out of the field to have his appointment because it was important to him? Yes, absolutely. But I compared myself to those people early on. I don't care if you're farming, I don't care if you have a business. Why do you have to be the other person? And if you want to be like the other person, I suggest you figure out what's going on. How are they doing it? What is life like? Do you want that? Do you want exactly what they have? Because sometimes when you get in there, it really just doesn't look as rosy as it did from the outside. Stop comparing yourself to the guy next door. Just because he might have new paint. Just because everything looks great. And then don't let jealousy kill curiosity. Ask what they're doing. Figure it out. Instead of assuming what people are doing. I know a farmer that picked up quite a few acres this year. And of course, what do the neighbors have to say? All kinds of stuff, right? Guy didn't even ask for the land. Came to him. He wasn't looking for it. So don't make assumptions that somebody's going around buttering people up so that they can get something. That is not what's happening in all cases. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen because we all know what happens, but those are the things we hear about. Those are the awful things we hear about, right? We're never hearing about anything good. Just like the news, we never hear about anything good. Why don't I listen to the radio and TV? Because there's never any solutions, only problems. We have a lot of jealousy, we have a lot of anger, but nobody ever wants to look beyond it and say, how? How did that happen? Right? How did John Deere get so big? How did Case IH get so big? What did they do? What did this salesman do to be number one? What is this farmer doing to get more land? What is he doing to have more bushels per acre? Figure it out. Ask. Look. Educate. Stop complaining and doing nothing about it. That's your first reaction, is to complain. Do you ever actually try to find the solution? Let's try to find the solution. It's no different than the whole farming without the bank thing. How many people just say, well, that's not possible, and walk away? Okay, good job. Keep walking. If you can't actually stop and open your mind up, what does Nelson say? We have the arrival syndrome. Just stop. Stop comparing, stop being jealous, and start being curious. Start accepting and being okay with where you're at so you can move forward. You guys, I know this had nothing to do with infinite banking to an extent, right? We talk about this stuff here and there, but I really, for some reason, thought we need to hear this because there is nothing that makes my blood boil more than when I see people in the ag industry who are fighting amongst each other. What in the heck is going on? There is a big enough war on what is going on how food is being grown and what we should eat and what we shouldn't eat and who's right and who's not right. But yet we're not actually sitting down and thinking about anything. We're just yipping. Just stop yipping and find some solutions. Because I want to hear solutions, not problems. Why is the book Farming Without the Bank? Because it has some solutions in it. And if you're the kind of person that reads the book and all you hear is problems, you might want to read it again from a different mindset. Because it's not talking about problems, we're talking about solutions. Yeah, but. Oh my gosh, take your yeah buts and throw them out the window. I don't want to hear anything about it. Yeah, but. And so you're going to argue? You guys, stop. Okay, I'm done beating that horse. I'm done. It's over. This is probably not going to be a podcast where you're like, hey, Mary Jo, that was the best podcast ever. Maybe not. Because I really usually like podcasts with information that I can take away and do things with, but this should be thought-provoking enough to say, okay, where do I start? What are the questions I ask? Where do we begin? Right? If you've read the book and you have not yet made an appointment, why? I had 3 people last week. One that read the book 5 years ago, one that read the book 3 years ago, and one that read the book 2.5 years ago. All of them waited. The guy that waited 5 years said, boy, 5 years ago, I didn't think I needed you. Now I need you. Yeah, and now you're in trouble. 5 years ago, we would have had some money to build a pool of cash with, and you would have been borrowing from yourself, not from the bank. But we waited. So now we're digging ourselves out of a hole. Do I believe commodity prices are going to come back up? Absolutely. Absolutely 100%. They can't stay down forever, just like the stock market can't stay up forever. So when they go back up, is that what you're waiting for? Nelson started this process in the very worst times possible. When he was stuck with $800,000 of debt at 23% interest. That's when he started. We have debt today at 3-4% interest, and we don't think we can make it. and we don't think we can start. What are you waiting for? It's a free consultation. Get on the calendar. I am booked out until November. Get on the calendar, make it a priority, and we will look at what is going on. If you are getting books from other agents, because there are a lot of agents that are not infinite banking certified buying my books. Thank you to those agents for sharing my books and sharing Farming Without the Bank. I appreciate that. Free advertising. In fact, they pay me for it, right? Because they bought a book. But if you are getting books from those agents, do they truly understand the concept? It is amazing how many people just recently I've talked to who have met with those agents. They don't understand the big picture. Those same people are reaching out to me and making comments that clearly don't even make sense because they are so uneducated about everything. If you want to do business with those kind of people, by all means, your money obviously does not mean as much to you as it should. If it means something to you and you truly want to understand the concept, I welcome you to make an appointment and I'm excited to talk to you. But if you choose to do business with somebody that is not infinite banking certified and just wants to sell you a life insurance policy, because let me tell you, there's a lot of agents out there from other companies buying books so they can make commission. The very reason that people hate life insurance salesmen is exactly what's happening. I had a gentleman yesterday that somebody told him, oh, we can go ahead and we've got this great wealth strategy. And I get a letter from the insurance company that says he's canceling his policy. And I thought, well, that's really weird. We just talked to him like several times in the last couple of weeks. What's going on? So I reach out to him and ask what's going on. And he said, well, I was just trying to learn some other stuff because I'm always up for learning. Fantastic. Great. Right? I'm always up for learning too. I said, well, they submitted an application for insurance that you're going to be canceling your existing stuff. Well, I told them I didn't want anything to happen with my existing stuff. What? What? Somebody was being a snake in the grass, right? He said, I don't want anything to happen with what I'm doing right now with Mary Jo. I want all that to stay the same. But when he filled out the application for him for more insurance, he said to cancel this stuff. So what that means is if he would start a policy with this other person, all of his existing stuff would be canceled. And he did not ask for that. Instead, he specifically asked for the opposite of that. If you are unaware of what's going on, you may get taken. I'm not going to say you're going to, because there are good people out there. But why are you working with somebody that's not infinite banking certified? I truly, truly ask that question for you to think about. I don't understand it. My money is more important to me than that. The strategies of how to use the policy, when to use the policy, is far more important than that. I eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. I don't sell just life insurance. My clients get access to me to run strategies. And no, they don't have to wait 6 weeks. They get a call back within 24 hours. You have to wait 6 weeks because you're new. Yes, you do. But once you're a client, that's not the case. So really, if you're getting those books, what are you doing with them? If you're passing those books out and you're the agent listening, thanks for purchasing the book. Thanks for passing it out. Why are you not infinite banking certified? Why are you not teaching the concept? You're using the book to sell life insurance. That is not what this is about. You've missed the concept. Okay, you guys, pass it along. Pass this along. I hope this has challenged you to think a little bit. And until next time, you can email me if you have questions. maryjo@withoutthebank.com, comments, concerns, whatever. You can email me there. You can find me on Facebook, Thursday Night Lives, talking about the clients, what we've done, how we've restructured some debt. Those are pretty awesome. And those will also be on our YouTube channel. YouTube is just Mary Jo Irmen. So if you want to look it up there, you sure can. Otherwise, it would be awesome to have you on Facebook at 7:30, or I'm sorry, good Lord, 8:30 Central Standard Time. And we'll every single week on Thursdays. All right, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day, and we'll see you on the next podcast.
Thanks for listening to the Farming Without the Bank podcast. We hope today's episode has inspired you to take control of your finances in new ways. Don't forget to check out our website, farmingwithoutthebank.com, and engage with us on our Facebook page, Farming Without the Bank. Join us next week as we smash more financial myths and empower you to accomplish your financial goals.